So what did you say your name was again?
As embarrassing as it is, I can't remember my name. My memories were taken from me for a while now, but my friends call me Tav, and some who think they're funny call me Durge. And yours is?
Guts. Thank you once again, Tav. My friends and I are grateful for letting us stay with you guys for the night. I don't normally do this, but circumstances are always changing.
Not a problem at all. Takes a lot of guts to make friends with a complete group of strangers.
Nice one.
I was never good with jokes, but nevertheless, I'm always happy to have some friendly faces around, even if it is just for the night.
Trust me, I wasn't always friendly. I've picked up a bit in recent travels.
Haven't we all? I'm assuming you're on your way to Baldur's Gate as well for some answers then.
Baldur's Gate, huh? Can't say I am, but that city sure looks beautiful from where we are. I'm from a place called Midland. At least that's the closest thing I can call home. I'm actually off to find some place that may not even exist at the moment.
I barely knew if I'd even see my home again. I know the feeling. Can't say I've heard of Midland, but it certainly sounds far from Faerun.
I'm sure it probably is. This place is very different from what I'm used to, but probably even a good kind of different.
It's good when you're not at risk of getting attacked by fanatics. Never know when Githyanki are going to strike now that we're in a heap of shit with them. Those are the ones that look like Lae'zel, by the way.
I think both your party and mine can take whatever comes at us with ease. I've been fighting things you couldn't imagine. A couple your companions look-alikes shouldn't be an issue.
Haha, you make a good point. I'm sure we're both in the business of killing disgusting things. You know, Karlach seemed to be eyeing you. That big sword of yours looks like it can do quite a bit of damage.
I'm just glad I held the restraint I did. Had the rest of you lot not been with her in your party, I'd have swung about mindlessly. Not sure if I've made it to some other part of the world, or if Puck slipped something in my drink, but I can't exactly say I'm thrilled whenever I see, well, beings that look like them.
Demons, you mean? I completely understand. Karlach is a tiefling. Her kind isn't inherently evil. There's a difference between them and devils. I suppose there's a lot I don't know that you've been through, however, but I'd be more than happy to ask about it if you're willing to share it.
How much time have you got?
You're funny if you believe I'll get sleep. I'm lucky if I catch a wink most nights, so I'm all ears.
In a way, that's a comforting thought. I don't get much sleep either. Not with my situation, at least. None of us do when we're all taking turns keeping watch. Though thankfully the past few days haven't been so bad.
Yes, there's something calming about your presence. My mind, it's gone quiet for once.
That witch, the green-haired girl. Her master placed talismans on us to ward evil spirits off for a time. For once I've been able to get some rest. Maybe tonight I'll be fortunate.
Evil spirits? Well, I'll be if you aren't living an adventurer's life. That'll explain much. My mind's gone blank for once. Haven't had a hard time in the past few hours.
I get the feeling we may be a bit more similar than either of us are letting off.
I wouldn't be surprised. Say, I know this is a bit direct, but are you also struggling right now? In combat with yourself, perhaps?
It's not something I usually talk about, much less with complete strangers. But I think I feel it within you too. It's a feral feeling. Something that makes you primal. A sensation that fills you with rage, delight, passion, terror. It's...
the dark urge.
Yes, the dark urge. The urge to maim, slaughter, kill everything in your path.
By the gods. Every night I wake up with my blood freezing, hoping to not find a corpse near me. I live every day pleading if there's some kind of merciful spirits at work to ease my mind of these foul impulses. The dark taint within me. The rot that consumes every part of my conscience until it commands me to sate its vile nature.
I think I needed to hear that. You truly have no idea how relieving it feels. To know that I'm not the only one who has a beast of darkness within them.
Likewise, Guts. It's not been easy. It never is when you want to protect those you care about. To protect those you love. Especially when they've been through so much. And when you've endured so many things with them in such little time.
Casca.
That woman with long hair, right? The one that the fair-haired woman watches over.
Yeah, that's her. My everything. My reason to live in this accursed, dreaded world full of apostles and vile, twisted creatures that want to drag us into hell.
Which one?
You have more of them?
9, to be exact. Avernus, Dis, Stygia, take your pick.
Well then, you looking for a buddy to clear them out with?
I like your attitude. I'm sure Karlach would love you. I'll just make sure she knows you're spoken for.
You're a funny guy, Tav. I don't normally have a chance to find amusement, so I appreciate it.
Any time. And as for your Casca, as I've said, I don't know what it is you've been through exactly, or more importantly, what she has. But I can only imagine, given what you've told me, it's more than anybody would want to talk about with a stranger, and for good reason.
You wouldn't even begin to imagine. And trust me, it's not that I don't want to. It's just, everything that happened made me into the man I am. And the man I am, well, it's not a good man.
I'll say. You've only proven the opposite, and I've only just met you. You look after those people as if they were your own family, are willing to maim and murder, rip and tear just to ensure their safety. That's what a man does. That's what a good man does. I wish I could say the same.
We don't always get it right, but that doesn't mean we don't try our hardest when it counts. Maybe you're right. I'd argue the same for you. You allowed a group of unsuspecting individuals enter your camp and provided refuge when we could have easily been someone else. Sometimes it's all about the little things.
It certainly is. And from one rage-filled protector to another, keep Casca safe. Don't ever let her go.
I lost her once. I will never make that mistake again.
It is the echo of her heart, the light from the darkest depths that every time it beats pushes away any hint of doubt, any sorrow that attempts to infect the waning resolve of each and every horrid day that passes. She's everything. She's...
Your reason to live too, isn't she? I see her. That woman with the pointy ears.
Shadowheart. I see you've caught me staring. Yes, she's a half-elf. They have pointy ears like that.
And here I thought I only had to deal with Puck. Looks like they've evolved. I might actually be in hell now.
Ha ha! I can assure you she's quite the opposite of that little fellow. Although I could afford to hear less about Shah from time to time. Evil gods and goddesses are what I'm trying to fucking avoid nowadays.
I'd second that. It's also the little things that you just want to love about them. Casca actually started off hating me, even injuring me at one point. But we worked past all of that. Now I just need to focus on healing her. And that Shadowheart of yours. I can tell just by the way that she greeted us that your influence on her has really shown. She seems gentle under that false pretense we all put on. All that strength we try to portray. In its own right, I suppose there's some beauty to it.
She's come a very long way, I must say. It went from talking about Shah every waking hour to now condemning her existence. I'll admit, even though she was amicable from the start, she would have quite a bit of quarrel with Lae'zel, turned into problems for everybody. When she revoked her worship to the Dark Lady in defiance, refusing to kill the Night Song, the part of her that was human, in a metaphoric sense, was made whole. I couldn't have been more proud of that woman. I love her with every fiber of my being. I hope we can find her parents when we get to Baldur's Gate. It's been a long time coming.
A bad man would never go out of his way for someone he loves, much less everyone else that's with him in need of their own healing. I also may not know how far this dark urge of yours reaches, but the fact that just like me, you fight it so that nobody you care about gets hurt. It takes some serious devotion to doing the right thing. It takes a strength that no physical form can take. You have my respect.
And you have mine, Guts. From the moment you first spoke. Perhaps we need to be easier on ourselves. We've had our struggles and still do, but sometimes we need to allow that love that we feel for others in for ourselves. How else can we grow as people? How else will we be able to fight for what's right if we cloud ourselves with seeing what we kill every single day as a reflection of what we think we've become?
I can assure you I will never become what decorates my blade. My dying breath won't be had for the sake of Casca, but also not until I take his head. Griffith.
With all his mystery, and even I'm unsettled by the name.
He's who made Casca what she is now. He's the abominable bastard that turned her into what she is. that betrayed me and everybody he claimed to care about. I can't die. I can't let myself do so until I have his fucking head, along with those other 4 freaks.
Sounds like Griffith is a grade A cocksucker with a massive bugbear up his ass.
Couldn't be more accurate.
Well, Guts, whatever this man did to you, he deserves whatever unspeakable punishment you have in store for him. The demons of your world sound like they need to be taken down a notch. It's a lovely thing to see you fight against a destiny that might have been written for you. I've always found it to be something we can control. Causality, perhaps. Not everything is written in stone. Just because something happens doesn't always mean the outcome will be certain. You can forge whatever path lies ahead of you. Something more powerful than even infernal iron.
Making him pay is a guarantee. No sob story in the world will stop me from tearing him and every other fucking monster limb from limb. That's a promise I intend to keep. Just like staying alive. So long as there is breath in my body, and more importantly in Casca's. This dismal rage is all there is that pushes me to walk onward. In some strange way, where would our worlds be without us to keep it in check? I've killed 100 men at once, was the captain of a mercenary group turned royal army. But nothing gives me greater joy than to see every one of those despicable, soulless horrors writhe in unspeakable terror when I make them wish they'd repented to whatever god they believe in. Griffith's days are numbered, that's for sure. But my party is my priority now. They're like my family at this point. Casca, Puck, Farnese, Serpico, Isidro, Sheer K, even that other annoying elf, Evalera. I will make sure they're safe, no matter the cost.
And that right there is something called character development. Karlach told me about it when she did this strange trick. She called it breaking the fourth wall. Spoke to someone that she claimed was really in charge of our world, or something. Could have been hitting the liquor a bit too hard, but it made sense at the time. Either way, I'm proud of you, Guts, and thank you for sharing this with me. I don't know what's in store for me, or if there's any redemption for the things I've done. But I vow to make sure that I can continue to right my wrongs. Do as you do for your companions, and hopefully save this world from this great evil that threatens Faerun. I'd like to know if perhaps there's something else in store for me after this is all over.
I can say the same to you, Tav. You're pretty intelligent, and it's not just brains either. You seem like you know how to fight, and it shows. I think I'd agree. I'd love to know if I'm meant for anything else in this world. I had a dream once, to be the best warrior. Enjoy the thrill of sparks in every battle. But look where that dream got me. No. Now I have a new dream. To find out what the next chapter entails in my grueling journey. I hope you get to figure out what your new purpose is, too. Maybe finally get to settle down with that half-elf girlfriend of yours.
That's the plan. Your kind words are very appreciated, and it's all the same, my friend. I too wish you the best of luck. No dark urges are going to get us down anytime soon. And don't worry, I know she'll be okay. Casca, I mean, you'll get to where you need to go. Do what you need to do. Just remember, you're in charge of your own fate. Maybe it's written, but it doesn't mean you can't be the editor.
Maybe I should listen to that skeleton knight after all. Fucking cryptic asshole.
I'm not one much for riddles either, mate. Shit can't just be simple anymore. But if that skeleton knight's anything reasonable, I'd at least entertain the idea.
Patience is a virtue, and Puck certainly taught me that.
Haha, I met a pixie that looked like him once. Thought she was a nasty one. In attitude and personal hygiene. Kept inside a moon lantern in the Shadowlands, and had nothing but her own farts for company, as she claims.
At least Puck doesn't have that issue, but he could afford to shut the hell up when we're walking.
Maybe he should talk to Gale and see whose head bursts first.
Wouldn't that be a sight to see?
Well, anyways, make yourself at home, Guts. I'm probably going to go tend to my friends and yours for a bit. I'd love to pick their brains for a while before I head to bed. It was a true and honest pleasure to meet you, and I hope we can talk some more before you head out tomorrow morning. I wish you the best of luck with your journey, and thank you for letting me know that there's someone just as fucked up in the head as me. You might be a violent man, but you're not a bad one. Take care of yourself, and may your blade slay Griffith soon.
Thank you once again, Tav. I know it wasn't easy to have let us stay the night, but it only goes to show what you said before. I too wish you luck, and hope you find what you're looking for in Baldur's Gate. Hopefully it's enough to save Faerun. I'll make sure I keep what you said in mind. It's not over yet for either of us, and our fate isn't set in stone. I've fought it my whole life. We'll be the ones to change it. Struggle, endure, contend. For that alone is the sword of one who defies death. Farewell.